Have you ever found a horror that's just sitting there on a shelf and you've never heard of it, you've never seen a trailer, nobody's really talking about it, and then it absolutely messes with your head and you go, what is this movie? Cover looks cool. Well, that's exactly what happened to me with an incident in Ghostland. I found the Blu-ray for $10 and I looked at the cover and thought, what the hell is this? Never heard of it, no hype, no trailers. But then I noticed something that instantly changed my mind and I brought this straight away. The writer and director is Pascal Laugier. Can't pronounce his last name. The same guy that made Martyrs from 2008. And if you know your horror, Martyrs is not a normal horror movie. So at that point I thought, alright, I'm going in blind with this one. And honestly, damn, I'm glad I did. So the basic setup, and I'm not going to spoil anything. There's no way I'm spoiling anything on this one because I want you to watch it because it's very disturbing. It really is. It really is. It's pretty simple. A mother and her two daughters inherit a creepy old house, and on the first night there, they're confronted by two absolutely psychotic intruders, and the mother has the fight to protect her daughters. And then the movie jumps 16 years later when the daughters reunite at the same house. And that's when things start getting really strange. And I mean like really strange. Now let me be clear about something here. This is not a slasher movie, okay? Not a slasher movie. If you're expecting something like Friday the 13th or Halloween, this is not it. This is nothing like that. This is a psychological horror roller coaster, this one. The horror comes from the story, the tension, and the absolute disturbing atmosphere of this film. There are moments in this movie that are so uncomfortable, they will actually make your skin crawl. They really will. Especially one of the intruders. Ugh. There's this fat, disgusting kidnapper in the movie, and I'll just say that. That's every time he's on the screen, you just feel gross and unsettling. Not in a goofy way, in a way that's kind of like, this feels wrong kind of way. And the thing I really liked about this disturbing movie is not the kills. It's about the psychological trauma and the damage. The way the story moves between reality and imagination is honestly brilliant. You're constantly questioning what is real and what isn't, and how are the characters coping with what's happening here. And when it finally comes together, it's done so well. It tricked me good. The acting deserves a big shout out too for this film. You've got Emilia Jones as young Beth. You've got Crystal Reed as adult Beth. You've got Taylor Hickson as young Vera, and Anastasia Phillips as adult Vera. And honestly, these characters carry the entire film, these four. Fantastic. Because a movie like this one lives and dies by performances, really does. They absolutely sell the fear, the trauma, and the psychological breakdowns. Some of the scenes are genuinely hard to watch, they are, and that's because the acting really feels so believable. Another thing I loved as well about this movie was the house itself. The setting actually had so much character, really disturbing setting. It's full of weird decorations, creepy dolls, strange rooms. It almost feels like the house itself is a character in this movie. It has this really unsettling atmosphere to it, which just adds to the tension. And when you mix that with the psychological elements of this story, the movie becomes incredibly immersive. There's a constant sense of dread hanging over everything in this film. Now I'll say this movie is disturbing. And it's disturbing in the way that will make some people feel very uncomfortable. This film is pretty relentless with its deception of abuse towards women. And the villains are portrayed in ways that some might find controversial. There's mental illness themes, there's disturbing behavior, and some very uncomfortable ideas. So yeah, this isn't a fun popcorn horror movie. It's one of those films that makes you feel uneasy pretty much 70% of the time. And that's what made it so effective. That's why I enjoyed it so much, because it was different. It's not a dime a dozen slasher. It's not trying to be the next horror franchise. It's just a really well-written psychological thriller horror that sticks with you after it ends. And honestly, it's been a while since I've seen a horror movie that's kind of done that from start to finish. Very engaging. The pacing is great, absolutely great. The tension never drops, and the end of the story is actually genuinely satisfying. So if you like disturbing horror movies, and if you enjoyed Martyrs, or any psychological horror that messes with your head, I would absolutely recommend checking out Incident in a Ghostland. This one's just called Ghostland, but when you look it up online, it's called Incident at Ghostland. So I guess America is called Incident in Ghostland. It's called Ghostland in Australia. But when you watch it, just go in like I did. Go in blind. Don't know the story. Don't watch the trailers. Don't look at the spoilers. Just sit down and let the movie take you for a ride, man. Because trust me, this one gets weird. For me, it was an easy 8 out of 10. I wasn't going to give it any more than that. But an 8 out of 10 for a movie that I hadn't heard of, and I think that's pretty damn good and worth watching. It's not a blockbuster. It's not a mainstream horror, but a very well-made, disturbing horror that is psychological, fucks with your head, and I'm glad I found. And honestly, sometimes some of those $10 fines or $5 fines or $2 fines that you find that you've never heard of end up being bangers. But if you have seen Incident in a Ghostland, let me know what you think down in the comments, what you thought of the movie, without giving spoilers for everyone that hasn't seen it. And if you've got any other disturbing horror movie suggestions that you think I should watch, let me know 100% down in the comments, because I want to watch them. Tell me some fucked up stuff to watch. I'll watch it, because you know I'm always looking for the next movie that's going to try and mess me up. Alright, like, subscribe, and I'll be back with whatever I do next time. Until then, say hi to your mum for us. Check out Incident in the Ghostland. See you guys.
Blood popcorn, watching movies for you. Blood popcorn, reliving moments so true.